The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
We were saying what's happened to the balloons in Brisbane, and then Luttsy just, by the by, just went, where's that place where all the balloons are? Quick as a flash, Nick says Cappadocia in Turkey. So we're fact-checking that.
You did, didn't you?
We did.
Well, the Cappadocia region. Well, let's go to Kim out of Hurston first because she just to fact check the Turkey.
Okay.
So you've got data on that, Kim, whether Nick's accurate or not? Yes.
He is correct.
Do you think
I went to Turkey last year for Anzac Day, and Cappadocia is where all the hot air balloons are.
It looks incredible.
I rate that as one of Nick's greatest gets.
It's very good. Don't you think Kimmy should get the sting? You know, the Not All Nick song?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think, Kim? We'll have to move on.
Oh, Kim, come on.
Come on,
just
Kim.
Play with us.
Suze, I just Googled it.
Yes.
The Cappadocia region of Turkey is the most popular location in the world for hot air ballooning. Last year, over half of the world's balloon trips took place in the region. Oh.
Wow.
There's so
Crazy.
many there.
I've never been in a hot air balloon. I know you have, Ash, on
Yeah.
a date, but they used to be everywhere in Brisbane.
Yeah.
I always thought when I finished swimming training, I'm going to go up in one of those hot air balloons.
Yeah, they're scary. They're scary.
But we
We're
don't see
looking
them
for
anymore.
13, 24, 10 if you know where they are.
Gary from Cedar Grove. Where are the balloons gone?
Down Cedar Grove way. Cedar Grove, between Cedar Grove and Bow Desert.
They're up there, are they?
So that's where they obviously leave
Yeah.
from. Do they go over the city, Gary?
I used to.
Oh,
No, but I remember I never went in it, but one morning on the show, when I was out and about, I was supposed to go in one, and we got there and the wind was too high, but I didn't go to Bow Desert to get in it. It was just like at Bulimba or something or other. So the ones from the city leave from somewhere near the city.
The day I did one, we had to drive out west somewhere. It was like a ridiculously early start. It was all west. But we used to sit in this studio and you'd look out and you'd see them sort of floating around
Yeah.
on the outskirts of the city.
The sky. We gave my mum one, I think, for her, which birthday? One of her big birthdays.
You go for a hot air balloon.
Yeah, no, a ride.
Could she drive it?
A ride. Actually, her and Dad always think, don't give dangerous presents to people. But she was fine.
Yeah.
You know, in case something bad happened. And you I always think
is
that.
a bit, it is
you
a
know,
bit
it's like
freaky.
a
They are a bit freaky.
It's
to
like
be
a
honest with you.
skydiving present.
It's like skydiving.
Yeah,
Or,
but it's
you know,
like
any
a
of
bloody.
those. It's usually
it's
fine.
a cane basket when you think about it. It's a cane basket. You're up in the air. Yeah.
I mean, any time you give a gift where there's an element of danger, there's something in the back of your mind,
Yeah.
where, if something did go wrong,
You think
everyone, your family would look at you a little differently,
Exactly.
wouldn't you? Yeah, wish Auntie Marsha was here.
Yeah. But,
Susie hadn't bought her that,
yes.
that stupid whatever it was,
Yeah, yeah.
something.
The go-karting experience.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
We've got brouhaha next. I've got to say what I just did. Please. No. Oh, I went in there and I saw Alicia because she's doing the brouhaha. And I'm like, there was a massive story on the weekend, remember? It was about blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And she's looking at me going, no. And then you look really guilty. I picked the story, didn't I? I won't
That she's
give it away.
doing for brouhaha.
Brouhaha that Alicia's doing for brouhaha. It was massive all over the weekend. I'm like, how come it's not in any of our notes? But it was like the biggest story going around.
Right. And by the way, that's not what brouhaha's about.
What? Yes, it is.
Brouhaha's meant to be
That's a good point.
the stuff that we were offered but we didn't select. Like you can't go
Not necessarily.
having situations
To
where
be fair, we never
No,
select their
no.
content.
Well, what he's saying is,
Suze was just about to select it.
When's the last time we selected something they wrote on a sheet?
but what Ash is saying is it can't be like, a world war's broken out, so you'll never guess who's involved. Like, it can't be big news. And Susie's suggesting this was like the standout news of the weekend.
Yeah, but you guys...
And they've left it off the sheet because so they can do it in brouhaha.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't put it in the run
no,
sheet
I
for
don't,
today.
no, I feel bad.
But you could probably argue that if it's that
we
big...
have to have the right of refusal.
I don't know what it is.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But you guys hadn't heard of it, hey?
I hadn't.
No,
No,
I hadn't.
I hadn't heard of it
So
either.
it probably wasn't big news then.
Yeah, but he was at an Italian festival. I was at the footy. Ash was busy
I was
yesterday.
down at Salt. Yeah.
Yeah, you were just sitting at home Googling stuff. I mean,
True, all weekend going, what am I going to talk about all week?
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
I said burn! It's cold in here. I said there must be some content in the atmosphere. Here we go.
All right, 5 seconds each to pitch us some gear. We choose the one we want. Have we been good, by the way, in getting the one who loses to tell us the story in the podcast?
no.
Yeah, sometimes
50-50.
50-50.
Hit and miss?
Yeah.
You know what happens? Our producers forget to remind us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to leave that
Don't
one.
fight it.
Yeah.
Not enough
It's not the
time.
day.
All right, 5 seconds, Alicia. Let's go. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Live stream arrest of superstar leaves concert goers waiting. Oh,
Waiting.
needs more time.
Oh,
Sounds boring.
yeah.
I got confused in that. What was happening?
Really? Okay.
Hello, Lachlan.
I
Listen
think that
properly.
Might have had something to do with the fact that you were looking at our accommodation in Sydney next week.
There is that also.
All right, Lockie.
Yep. 2 of Hollywood's youngest sweethearts have secretly gotten married.
Short and sweet. I didn't hear. Wasn't listening properly to the first one, so I'll go the second one. I'll go Lockie.
I'm going to go lucky because I might do the first one later.
Wow.
Is that the one you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to hear that because you've said
Sorry,
that's
Alicia.
pretty amazing. But Susie's doing it anyway, so I'll definitely go Lockie.
We then won't hear it in the podcast then if Susan's already covered it.
No.
No,
we can do it in the podcast as well.
A different one of the
Yeah, someone else will be
podcasts. I don't
delivering
know.
it.
Yeah.
I was going to choose Alicia, but then she didn't get me tickets to the boat show, so I'm going to choose Lockie instead. So, yeah.
It's getting personal.
Wow.
God, can you smell the entitlement in this room?
Oh, I'm sorry, Alicia.
Someone's not listening because they're
didn't
looking at the
see-
free accommodation we got in Sydney, and the other one didn't
Susie
choose.
went to the boat show. She was in the free drinks area. How come you didn't go?
Come on, just leave it, everyone.
Anyway,
Spoke about it for half an hour.
I feel like Alicia's story is better, but
Oh, come on, mate.
Oh, jeez.
but I appreciate
Well, you sold
the
it well.
vote. Thank you. Millie Bobby Brown and
Yeah,
Jake
big fan.
Bon Jovi have gotten married.
What?
Yep.
How old's Millie Bobby Brown?
She's 20.
I follow
Is she
Jake
from
Bon
Stranger
Jovi.
Things?
Yeah.
Yep, Stranger Things. Jake Bon Jovi is a model.
Oh, Bon
Obvi-
Jovi.
Explain this to me.
Obviously, son of.
Well,
Bon
obviously,
Jovi?
obviously, but you're saying Jake Bon Jovi because that's how he spells his name. No, it is.
Yeah.
You're
Is
right.
that- yeah.
But like,
Is that right?
did he change his name from Bon Jovi, or did
I think.
John Bon Jovi change it from Bon Jovi?
I think John Bon Jovi was John Bon Jovi.
yeah, that
And then he changed
Why?
it 'cause no one could say
one.
it.
Yeah. I think.
I'm going to watch Bon Jovi
Yeah, because
tonight.
I follow Jake Bon Jovi on
Yeah.
Instagram. I missed it. He
I
got
bet you
married.
he's a good-looking
Uh,
rooster.
it's
do you
a-
reckon?
Can
yeah.
I have a picture
hold on, let me
And
do
how
it
old
quick.
is he as well?
He's 22. So
too young, although you got married too.
yeah, I got married relatively young. Jake Bon Jovi, it was a secret thing, so they haven't posted anything on socials. But there you
Oh,
go. That's,
yeah.
that's
Let's see the photo.
He's a
Oh,
model.
Wow, he's a model,
Yeah.
all right.
He looks like his dad.
Yeah.
Looks like his dad,
Yeah,
but
like-
younger.
Yeah, he looks
He's-
like his dad.
yeah.
That's him with his dad.
Yeah.
But with
he's
blonde
He's
hair.
a good-looking rooster.
They got engaged last year,
Wow.
scuba diving, and he almost lost the ring
do that?
when scuba diving. So
Yeah, how do you say it? You're right.
I
Just
know.
with hand
He
signals.
scribbled
Yeah.
it on one of those
yeah,
sheets.
I think he kind of pulled a ring out of somewhere and then dropped the ring, and it started sinking, and so they had to go and fetch the ring.
Had to put some scuba gear on.
Well,
to go and get it.
they were already wearing scuba.
Oh,
They were
okay.
scuba diving,
scuba diving at the time.
at the time, so they just had to.
It does sound like a very risky.
Yeah, like of all the places to do it. But yeah, they got married. They're planning on doing a bigger ceremony in the coming weeks and making it a big public thing. But for the time being, they're a smaller affair, only close friends and family.
Isn't it weird thinking of like how many years ago was did Stranger Things come out?
The first one, about 6, I want to say.
So I guess she was only. How old is she now?
She is 20.
So she was actually a 14-year-old when they filmed that.
She was a kid.
Yeah, you think of her as a kid.
Oh,
right?
no, that's what's bizarre.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I think it's funny. Obviously, Drake and Kendrick have had their ongoing beef over the last little while.
What team are you on?
I'm going to be Switzerland. I'm not going to choose a side. Yeah, well,
Right,
that's
mate.
fine.
Righto, mate.
Yeah.
But Drake obviously has a close friendship with Millie, and it's kind of weird, kind of like
Drake does.
And so all these people are clowning Drake online, going, the reason she's gotten married so quickly is so that she's off the market for Drake.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
It's very
Some would say it's
Stranger
Stranger Things.
Very good ending.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
I want to talk about those fit watches and whether they actually work, whether they motivate you to exercise.
Yes, go on.
Because my mum has got one of those. She's got a really fancy one. Is
Is
she's
it a
got a
watch?
Garmin, I think.
Oh, they're good.
That's what I got.
You got a Garmin? Hers looks good though. Not that yours doesn't look good.
Now, what
But
are
Really?
hers looks.
How dare you?
No, but hers looks like a nice lady's
So
watch.
you've got the chunky sort of thing.
Hers is white with gold sort of face and things like that. But
And Lee Castledine, who I was with at Stratty,
yeah,
Lee from Survivor and Queensland Cricket. He had the one that doesn't even have a face. It's just looks like a band.
I've seen
Now,
that.
I've
I think
forgotten
footy players
I've
wear
forgotten the
them.
name of it, but it like
Fitbit.
it's not that, but it's like that, and it digs into all sorts of things in your life.
Blood oxygen and all that sort of
a heap
stuff.
and then you can like have it a whoop, is it? Yeah. And then you judge it off your friends, and you have this sort of groups where
Like a competition?
Yeah, almost like that. Like it's
So it does
full on.
motivate you then?
This watch here,
Yes.
like it monitors my sleep.
Do you have to sleep in it?
Remember we used to, I hardly ever take it off. I only take it off to charge it, really. But it tells me like how much sleep I get.
Yeah, and which is your REM sleep and your good sleep and your bad sleep and all that.
Which is not enough.
Yeah.
Evidently.
I don't know exactly what my mum uses hers for, though, because she doesn't...
What's she doing?
She doesn't really like exercising, and I've been dragging her to these exercise classes.
She exercises in double denim.
Once a week. Although now her doctor told her she needs to exercise, and now she's on board with it. But we'd just done a exercise thing the other day, exercise class, and we're driving home, and so I pick her up and then I drive her home, to make up for all the times she drove me to training. Thank you, Mum. Like 10 million times a week.
Fair enough.
And she was wearing her special Garmin watch, and it started dingling, and I thought she got a text because she'd just been on the phone to someone.
Yeah.
And I go, what's that about? And she literally looked down, straight face, looked up, looked at me and said, I just won 2 gold medals. And I was like, but she wasn't like excited.
right.
She just, I just won 2 gold medals. I'm like, what for? And is that from the exercise class you just did? Or that sort of thing? Yeah. So I don't know. And then I heard the other day off someone that when you buy them, when you first get them, apparently they set your goals for you. Because you know that...
What do you mean?
Well, you know how it works out exactly how many steps you should do, or exactly
Based on what?
I don't know.
Well, you
That's
put your
what it
age.
is.
Put your
in
age and
yeah, I
that
think
sort of
so.
stuff in, yeah.
Oh, do you?
When you sign up for it, I'm pretty sure you do.
Weight, age, whatever, all those sort of things.
They can be
okay.
quite
Maybe.
technical. Yeah.
And it does make you, it motivates you. Because you know that 10,000 hours things, they say you need 10,000, is it 10,000 steps a day?
Well, that's recommended, I guess.
Recommended. That's completely made up. My dad told me this the other day. Someone just plucked that from the air and said that one day.
Are you supposed to do 10,000
caught on.
steps a
And it's
day?
caught on. There's actually no scientific data, apparently, from my dad.
But it just encourages
10,000
exercise, right? That's
Oh, actually, yeah, it's not a
sort
bad
of the
thing.
yeah.
But that's what Lee was saying on his, the 10,000 steps thing. You get some sort of, dingling when that happens and
Yeah.
wins a gold medal. And he's like, it's ridiculous. And he's a fit guy. Lee Carlsine's fit. Like, he's chiseled. He said, it's ridiculous, it's 10,000. And I said, well, you could get your $10,000 trying to get an Uber in the Valley at 3 a.m. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
10,000 steps.
Steps,
Steps.
rather, yeah.
And do you reckon you get a dopamine rush when you
Yeah,
get the
for
jingle?
sure.
What's like a poker machine?
I get him I've got an Apple, under the Apple Watch Ultras, and it says time to stand, and I'll just go like this. I'll just stand up, and then it'll be like ding.
Is that what happens
You've
in here when
stood.
you stood up?
Yeah,
When you stand up?
It reminds me to stand up.
I think you're going to do a really good piece to audio, and that you're getting your diaphragm
No,
ready.
no,
it's because his watch tells him to do it.
Stand
And
up.
It's the same as even Waze. That it's that app where when you're travelling and it shows you
Oh, the quickest way
where
to
the
get
quickest
somewhere.
way is and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But I had sometimes for some reason I find myself engaged. Like says, oh, is there a car still on the side of the shoulder in 800 meters? And I'll wait for it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll wait for it, and then there is. And I
Yeah.
press it.
Same.
And it gives me a little medal or something.
Yeah.
Or a
Actually,
coin. I'm like, yes! Like, what does that even mean? Like, where do you collect your Waze medals?
that happened to me the other day, and I did get a dopamine rush
It's
from
a
that.
dopamine rush, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it is a good
Sounds
thing.
and images and
This is when
things.
technology is working well for society.
I guess.
Well, it can't be a bad thing. It's just, even if it just brings awareness to.
I sometimes get it on my watch as well, saying you've done like 8,000 steps for the day. Like only 2,000 more to close your rings is like the Apple Watch one. I know. If you know, you
Why
know.
does it say close your rings?
I don't know. They
How does
do
it know?
fitness rings.
Yeah,
but
you're supposed to get your entire.
yeah.
We've been waiting for you to do that for a while. It's cool. I'm glad you phoned.
But
It took a watch. It took a watch for him to fight or shut him.
Your watch is the only one that had the guts to tell you.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
When I ran into my friend yesterday, we went for a bike ride, and we went to a park and sat down. Not that it matters
else did
to
you
this story. We had a
There's
beer.
nothing else to say.
We had a beer each
Where'd you sit?
on the ground. But one of the first things she said to me was, "Did you see that a millennial saint has been made?
The first millennial state.
First millennial saint ever." And I was like, "No, what are you even talking about?" And she took me through the whole thing. I was
This,
like,
I
this
saw
is
this
full
this
on.
morning. I
Yeah.
don't understand it. What's
So
the
basic-
road to a sainthood?
Well, to become a saint, you have to perform at least one miracle, maybe two.
Two
It
miracles
is two?
to become a saint.
Okay, 2.
Do you have to be dead?
Well, all the ones I know are dead, but I'm not sure if you have to be dead.
I don't know whether Mother
That's a
Teresa
good
is anyone
question.
I can think of that maybe wasn't sainted when
alive?
she was alive, but that could be wrong. I'm not an
So-
expert in such matters.
Define miracle.
Well, in
Was
this,
it like that Mark Coyne try in '94? Like, how do you determine?
He only scored one.
You have to be
yeah,
dead.
so if he had got another one,
If he did it
you
again.
have to be dead. Well, this guy, it was a boy, Carlos Acutis. He died when he was 15 of leukemia. But before he died, he was big into computers. He was a computer program, and he did lots of programs to catalogue miracles, actually, when he was alive. That was one of the things that he was good at.
They called him the patron saint of the internet.
Yeah. So when he died, after he died, people prayed to him and they had miracles happen to them. And then I suppose that's catalogued and they go, well, he's done 2 miracles now. We're going to put him as a saint.
So they were posthumous, his miracles.
Yes. So one of the ones a boy who had been on an all-liquid diet attended a prayer service and asked for the teenage Carlos's intercession that he should not throw up as much. And then after the ceremony, the service, the teenage boy said he doesn't feel like being sick anymore, and he was healed, and he asked for solid food. So you pray to the person, so they prayed to him, and then he was cured. And the second time, a girl from Costa Rica was studying in Italy. Reportedly, she was healed after suffering a head trauma because her mother prayed to the boy and allegedly she was cured.
That's interesting because back in the day, when you're a saint, all the stories you hear is like literally someone putting their hand on someone's head and then being cured.
Like you're blind and you can see again.
You can see because they were directly touched by this person.
Or you
who
couldn't
became a
walk,
saint.
and then all of a sudden you could walk again.
Or the fish would listen to the speeches they were doing on
the fish and loaves.
Yeah, but
That was
that's
one
a
of
different
them.
one. That's a different one. That is one of them though.
there's one of them. Luttsy was running me through it.
Yeah, I
What
forget
is
his
it?
name.
Yeah.
But he famously stood on the side of a lake and started talking, and all the fish gathered up, put their heads out of the water, and listened to him do his sermon.
Really?
And then when
I'm not saying it happened, but that's what they
That's
say.
That's what they say. That's
That was
Saint
Saint Anthony of Padua, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But how did people know how to pray to this kid? Like
It doesn't say that in the
I
story.
think he
but-
became a legend in those areas.
Well, when he died, they actually. This was even before he became a saint, I'd imagine. When he died, he's in an open casket now. You can go and visit him
you can see him
in Assisi.
And
didn't he die a while ago?
He died in 2006.
But when we say open casket, I'm not saying you can just see
He's
his
in
head.
glass.
He's in a tracksuit and in Nikes, and you can see his entire body in a glass opening to what looks like some sort of crypt,
Isn't that amazing?
which is on a wall
And he
In
hasn't.
Italy
in
somewhere.
Assisi in Italy.
Yeah.
He hasn't decomposed at all.
It must be air conditioned.
Yeah.
But he's the first millennial. So
I
the
don't think
first.
you just air condition. I think there's other things that have to happen. Well, they must have done all those things like they did for
Mummy.
like mummies, almost like
Mummies.
stuffed animals.
But he's the first millennial to be made a saint. So he was born in 1991, died in 2006, as you said, at 15. Because I remember growing up, I don't know if anyone remembers, Mary MacKillop, who was from Australia, and we were all praying all the time. I went to Catholic schools for her to become a saint. And our prayers must
That's
have
right.
worked because she became a saint.
What did she do? What was her
I
miracles?
can't remember. I wish I knew.
Nick, I'll give you the sting if you know this one, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what
What did-
Mary MacKillop did.
I can't remember. I should have looked that up.
She was top notch. She was a nun.
Yeah, she was a nun.
A couple of miracles, doing some good
At
stuff.
least 2
wherever she
miracles.
was. Australian, of course, as you said.
Yeah.
But the question is because if your mum, I forget, St Anthony, I think from my memory is who you prayed for if you lost something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So that's what they. So this new kid, he's the patron saint of the internet. I mean, would parents pray to him if they want to make sure their kids are safe online?
That would help.
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
out
yeah.
what do you pray to this guy for? You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so he got his miracles for other things like curing people of sickness, but now he's the patron saint of the internet. So anytime you have an internet problem,
Yeah, I'm not a
No.
Wi-Fi issue. I'm suggesting, but maybe.
Forgot my password.
Mary reportedly healed 2 people in 1961 and 1990.
Mary MacKillop.
oh, that must have been.
But she was
post-Guinness.
alive then.
No, she wasn't alive in 1990.
Oh right.
I'm sure she was
61 was she?
Oh.
She might have been.
Okay.
She wasn't in 1990. I remember because I was at high school and we were praying for her, and she was not alive.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.